The ultimate tournament of everything.
Welcome to the Ultimate Tournament of Everything, a bracket-style show where we compare everything that ever was against everything else that ever might be.
That is absolutely correct, and we do so by meticulously cutting out an infinite number of individual letters from the world's largest stack of newspapers and magazines. We then take glue sticks and coat an enormous piece of paper, and then we fashion the letters in a bag to a high-tech drone that will evenly distribute the letters over our sticky surface. We close our eyes, spin around 3 times, and upon opening them, the first thing that we see with our eyes spelled out in the makeshift ransom note of infinity will be our selection, moving on to the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
So creative, but no one will be paying for us. What we will actually be doing is taking 9 of our most interesting rounds around one topic and doing something brand new, putting those together into what we are calling the highlight reel.
Absolutely. We're going to highlight some of the real best things that we've done yet. And this time, they're all Olympians. Each round here is going to feature an Olympic competitor and or event from the shows that we've done up to this point. So we hope that you enjoy this retrospective look at these really awesome competitors. Let's get started with round 1.
Round one.
Jerry Lively against Rama Ben Ali. Okay, Jerry Lively is a cinematographer and film director known for directing Darkness Falls and Dungeons & Dragons Wrath of the Dragon God. Against Rama Ben Ali, who is a Tunisian Taekwondo athlete. We have an actual guy who can fight against a guy who probably can't fight. This is going to be a bloodbath.
But just think about how many times that Dungeons and Dragons guy has pretended to fight. He's mentally prepared.
He is definitely ready, but probably his body armor isn't actually going to give him any benefits.
Yeah, but I'm looking here at Rama Ben Ali, and their body armor is just kind of that padded stuff. And Dungeons and Dragons people do tend to use, like weapons and stuff like that. They might have a decorative sword on their wall, something like that. I don't know that the armor is really going to decide this one. Let's dig a little deeper.
No, hang on. I got to go back and apologize to Rama Ben Ali for a moment. She is Rama Ben Ali, not he. So I apologize, Rama Ben Ali. And I'm not apologizing just because you could beat me up, but you totally could. I'm apologizing because you are a woman and I've referred to you as a man. My bad. She competed in the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio.
See, that's awesome. Did she win, by the way?
Oh, it's not mentioned, so probably not.
Well, maybe she was just being humble about it.
Yeah, she might have just left it off her Wikipedia page.
Could have.
No, according to this, the defending champion, Jade Jones, successfully defended her title. And Ava Calvo finished second with a silver medal. And Hidayah Malik and Kimia Alizada tied for third. So, no, she did not make the podium.
Well, that's what the judges said, okay? But I don't know for sure. If you watch the tape, you'd have to, because I haven't seen it. But that, it's up for debate still. That's a highly contentious competition that took place.
I'm looking at the bracket, and Rama Ben Ali faced off in the first round against Mayu Hamada, and Mayu Hamada won 9-0.
All right. Well, you know what? Can't have losers winning in the game. That means that this.
Oh, hang on. We got to talk about Gary Lively here, because we got to talk about the wonderful piece of cinema that is Darkness Falls. The reason so many people reload flashlights like they're reloading rifles. It is that movie. Do you remember this movie?
I don't remember anything.
Okay, so in this movie, a kid when he's younger has maybe his whole family killed by some like darkness witch creature, and he spends the rest of his life never being in darkness, because the second he is in complete darkness, he will be eaten by this thing. And so he carries flashlights with him everywhere.
I think I do remember that.
I don't know how you forget it.
Maybe I chose to forget it.
I mean, okay, hang on. We got to see. Oh, he also directed The Guardian with Ashton Kutcher. Why is that not listed? You got to put that up there higher, Wikipedia. Come on. That's a movie. Okay. Darkness Falls. We'll see the critical reception of this. It had to be good, right?
Yeah, but wasn't that Dungeons and Dragons movie like bad?
Ooh. Yeah, I think it definitely was terrible, if I'm correct on that one.
Where's the thingy?
And how do you mess up a Dungeons and Dragons movie? Really?
Also, I think I might now be picking the wrong Darkness Falls movie.
I think I might be picking the wrong person in this round. I'm going to change my vote. Rama Ben Ali, I'm laying it down right now. You're my choice for this round. And
The ultimate tournament of everything.
I gotta go with you. It's a different Darkness Falls movie, apparently, from what I can tell. It doesn't look like the same one. So, yeah, I agree. You know what? You might have been a loser at the Olympics, but you are a winner in our hearts. So, congratulations.
The ultimate tournament. The ultimate tournament of everything.
It's time for round two.
time for round 2.
We have Stanislaw Sikowski, a Polish footballer, against Charles Greb, a business owner and politician in Ontario, Canada.
So those are the last 2 for this episode, huh?
Yeah, we're going to end with a guy that played soccer and a guy that probably played soccer but wasn't known for it. Well, he's in Canada. He probably played hockey. Not to stereotype, but, Canada.
It's probably true.
It's
Come
probably true.
So Charles Greb, business owner, politician in Canada, as you mentioned, he was also a mayor, born in Zurich, Ontario, became a carpenter by trade and operated a hardware store. Eventually, his son took over the operations of that company. Or no, he was secretary treasurer of a shoe manufacturing company, became owner, and then his son took that over. And so pretty much it looks like he was into politics and into shoes, as well as carving up stuff real good.
Okay. Now, Stanislaw Sikowski, born on Valentine's Day, 1899, died December 2nd, 1959, Polish footballer, competed in the men's tournament in the 1924 Summer Olympics. So we have an Olympian. Now, it doesn't mention that he won, so I'm going to assume he didn't. But he did make it, so that's important.
We knew you'd make it, Stan.
Now I'm gonna jump back over to Charles Greb here because his grandsons actually, Harry, Arthur, and Chuck, later took on senior executive roles in the company and brought to the Canadian market Hush Puppies, casual footwear headquartered in Rockford, Michigan.
Wait a second. We're talking about the Hush Puppies that are like little loafers, right?
Yeah, they
Have you ever
brought
had-
them to Canada.
Yeah, but have you ever had those Hush Puppies that are like fried bread?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't eat the shoe.
Yeah, no, but those Hush Puppies that are like fried bread, so good.
Okay, so not sponsored. # not sponsored. Arby's has Hush Puppy fish sandwiches right now. Yeah.
You know who kind of looks like he ate a couple Hush Puppy fish sandwiches? Is this guy Stanislaw Sikowski. He's got some good pics that are up there. He's got a nice vertical black and white, I think it is because it's a black and white picture, jersey shirt uniform. Got a stern look, but probably a good kick, good leg. Don't know what position he played, but he looks like a champion. And it looks like somebody got a tattoo of them, maybe? That's cool.
I'll have to take his name out to the Google machine to see what else we can find. That's interesting. He was a midfielder. Okay.
Okay, balanced.
Yeah, midfielder. He was... Oh, that can't be right. He can't... Well, yeah, 1.7 meters tall. In freedom units, I have no idea. Several, I guess. I don't know.
You know, not you wouldn't call him stretch, probably.
No, No, probably not. He. Come on, tell me which way he kicks. It won't tell me. I don't know if he's a lefty or a righty. Probably a righty. Most of us are. Interesting.
Wikipedia can only tell you much, but I think I can tell you one thing. Charles Greb, he lived his life and he worked and he had children, and I don't know much more about him. And I don't find any of it as exciting as being an Olympian in soccer in 1924. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and claim Stanislaw Sikowski as my selection for this round of the ultimate tournament of everything.
See, this is a tough one because I love comfortable shoes. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Canadians. But Olympics? He made the Olympics? Now,
He made the Olympics.
he made the Olympics, but okay. I gotta go with Charles Greb, and I think that means we need a tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker! We need some tiebreaker music, but since we don't have any, let me tell you what we're gonna do. Rob and I are standing on two sides of a big deep crevasse. Inside of that crevasse is a whole bunch of goopy old pudding that's been left there for way too long. The one who's able to pull the other into that big old pile of slop will get to move their selection on to the next round of this, the ultimate tournament of everything.
Mike, as always, you're absolutely right, and by absolutely right, I mean you're wrong. We will actually be selecting a number between 1 and 1,000, and the Google machine will pick which one is closest. So, Mike, What is your number?
I'm going to go right in the middle, and I'm going to say 908.
Oh, so by right in the middle, you meant between 907 and 909. Okay, got it.
Right in the middle of those.
Right in the middle of those. I'm because I actually understand the middle, I'm going to pick 500. Let's see. Okay. It's 500. I can't win any more than that.
Well, then that means that Charles Rob, not only do you get to go through, but you get to come on back and go through again to the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Good guess.
I
What were the
gotta say,
odds?
well, 1 in 1,000 probably. I wish that we had a video podcast so everyone could see it land on 500. This is a moment I will never repeat. This is the highlight of my life. If my wife and kids are listening, it's totally not the highlight of my life. That's just something you say for the internet. But it was pretty incredible.
Nice. Yeah, no one's ever thought of 500 before.
It's time for round 3.
We have Raul Gib Guerrero against Madalita Bodromo. Looks like Raul Gib Guerrero, Mexican editor and founder and owner of a newspaper, and Madalita Bodromo is a swimmer for the islands of Moala and Rotuma.
Okay, yes. Matalita was selected to represent Fiji at the 2012 Summer Olympics. She's an all-rounder competitor, but she specializes in the 100 and 200-meter breaststroke. Turned pro when she competed in the South Pacific Games in New Caledonia 2011.
She's 26, 5'9". Her coach is Sharon Pickering Smith. That is a name that I've heard before, so I think that might be an American coach. I'm not.
It does seem familiar.
Yeah, I'm not positive, but I do think I've heard that name before. She did make an Olympics finals in London in 2012. So, hey, good for her. Now, how many medals did Raul Gib Guerrero win?
Well, he may not have won so many himself, but his newspaper was, in fact, awarded the 2005-2006, he was awarded, rather, for it, the International Editor of the Year by WorldPress.org. it seems that he was murdered in that same year, but it had already won awards for his coverage of corruption.
Yeah, the quote they have here is the three gave the ultimate sacrifice in pursuit of their journalistic excellence and freedom of the press. Their courage, tenacity, and dedication in covering sensitive subjects, especially drug trafficking, caused them to live in a danger zone of threats and violence, which ultimately led to their murders.
Yeah, looking at this here, it just kind of screams this guy was calling out the bad people, and the bad people did some bad things to him for it.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
rough. You know, it's so easy to forget that those things happen other places, right? Because here
Yeah.
doesn't generally happen here. It's not a normal occurrence, but I from what I can understand, that's kind of unfortunately common in Mexico.
Yeah, journalist killings are like the school shootings, you know, in the rest of the world compared to here in America.
You know, we could come up with some funny quips about journalists or swimming, but I think that would really diminish the important work that it looks like Raul Gib Guerrero has done or did do. And for that, I think you should move on.
You're gonna throw down your vote right away?
Oh, right away. When
Ain't
you know,
no
you
question.
know.
Yep, I'm joining you too. Raul, we're gonna move you on to the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
I think we should play it one more time just for how emphatically we're gonna move him on to the next round. Do you concur?
Absolutely.
Raul, the first ever two-time. Here comes.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
See, he's really what this tournament is all about.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't tell you how, but yes.
Yeah. This guy here, he's out there doing what it takes. I mean, he did.
Yeah. And now not anymore, but journalist heaven, probably.
But we remember him and just love the guy. Didn't even know I did until now, but I so do. You know what else I love? My round 4 is ready.
We have Shalva Gadabadze. Yeah, we'll go with that. Shalva Gadabadze against Synesius.
That is a really good start, Rob. We've got two interesting characters, two individuals who we have a Greek bishop, Synesius, and a Roman wrestler. Oh, a Greco-Roman wrestler. So let's see which one of these old classic competitors will prevail.
I'm just going to call him Shalva so I don't butcher his last name again. He's an amateur. He's from Azerbaijan. I can't say that one either. The Greco-Roman is the style of wrestling he competes in. The men's light heavyweight category. He won 2 bronze medals at the 2009 European Wrestling Championships and at the 2011 European Wrestling Championship in Germany.
And he would ultimately go on at the 2012 Summer Olympics in London, having switched to a heavier class, competing in the men's 96 kilogram category. Received a bye for the second preliminary round before losing to Russia's Rustam Totrov. I believe he's pretty good. He was able to score a few points, but ultimately he would be defeated again in the next round by Sweden's wrestler.
Now, Synesius, Greek bishop of Ptolemy in ancient Libya, part of western Panopolis of Crynacia, was born of wealthy parents and born somewhere between 370 and 375. We're not exactly sure.
He became an enthusiastic Neoplatonist and a disciple of Hypatia. Now, Neoplatonism, as Rob, you know very well, it's a philosophical and religious system beginning with the works of Plotinus in 245 AD.
Now, he stayed 3 years in Constantinople, which is now called Istanbul. You can talk to a band about why they changed the name. But his stay there was wearisome and otherwise disagreeable. The leisure it forced upon him devoted in part to literary composition. That's a great way to describe something. It was wearisome and otherwise disagreeable. I'm going to leave that on Yelp reviews now going forward.
Yeah, and we'd have to read some of his books to see if we think that his style kept through into his work. But some of his works did include a speech before the Emperor Archelaus, something called Constitutio. He wrote 2 homilies and an essay on making an astrolabe.
Now, looking at the way this article is written, this is one of the more fun-to-read articles I've seen. It's just got kind of interesting turns of phrase in it, which I really enjoy. The following years were busy for him. Okay, that's a great way to put it.
I liked his tenure of the bishopric was troubled not only by domestic bereavements, but also by the Libyan invasions of the country.
Yeah, you know what? I think if it were to be a wrestling match between Shalva and Synesius here, Shalva clearly wins, unless Synesius is somehow Russian or Swedish, which he's not. But I think just for the way it's written, I got to move him on.
Yes, thinking about it, Shalva Gababdes, was a very good wrestler in the Greco-Roman style, and he's going up against a Greek bishop. So I got to think he probably knew a thing or two about the mat. So yeah, I concur. And I think we're both going to be moving Synesius on to the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Plus, it's just way easier to say.
It's a little bit easier to say. Go for the gold, and maybe we'll talk.
Round 5.
We have the April 2014 Nyanya, Nyanya, N-Y-A-N-Y-A, that's another tough one, Nyanya bombing against Lothar Jacobi.
Okay. We have another Olympian going up against a terrible event. Let's see which one is going to strike our fancy in this round of the ultimate tournament of everything.
Now, the April 2014 Nyanya bombing, 2 bombs exploded at a crowded bus station, killing at least 88 people and injuring at least 200. Boko Haram claimed responsibility for the bombing 6 days after it occurred. Don't be this. Don't be like people like this. Don't do this. There's a lot of things I feel like we have to tell people don't do. Don't be a Nazi. Don't own people. Don't be a terrorist. That's on the list.
Don't hide explosives inside vehicles detonated during morning rush hour in a bus station in Nyanya, in the outskirts of Abuja.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's no good. Here's the quote from Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan, who visited the scene of the blast. He said, "We have lost quite a number. We condole with our countrymen and women. The issue of Boko Haram is quite an ugly history within this period of our own development. Government is doing everything to make sure that we move our country forward, but these are the unnecessary distractions that are pushing us backward. But we will get over it."
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's with a lot of remorse change gears here and look at Lothar Jacobi. German sport shooter, competed in the 25-meter rapid-fire pistol event in the 1964 Summer Olympics, where he placed 13th.
So, let's see. The 25-meter rapid-fire pistol, it's a shooting event, shot with a .22. It's been part of the Olympic program since its beginning in 1896, though the rules changed greatly before World War II.
And apparently, they use a 22 short cartridge. No, they restricted events to sport pistols. They banned short cartridge, they banned encircling grips, and they banned low trigger weight. And this caused a decline in results. Now that's an interesting one because the Olympics are really about getting to the pinnacle of human ability, right? And so if everyone's using the same gear, I guess I don't have a problem with them getting too good. It's like those swimsuits that they were using. They're like, no, you can't use those. They make you too fast. Isn't that kind of the whole point?
No, because if getting to the peak of human ability was the point, then they'd be all about steroids and PEDs. They would just be like, go for it. You can jump higher, you can run faster, but it's not good for it. It's not good for the sport. And apparently Lothar Jacobi, while very good at the sport, was not the best at the sport either. Given the two, I think still the one that's got the power to be remembered, to be owned its place in history, clearly to me, is the April 2014 Nyanya bombing.
Yeah, it's obviously a tragedy. It's obviously a terrible thing that happened. But if we're talking about impact on the world and calling for change and that type of thing, it definitely is going to be more lasting than our friend over on the other side.
And I don't even remember his name because I'm already moving on to the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
And down to the left, you will find Scenic Round 6. Round 6.
And we have Aiden Smagulov against George Tapscott. A person versus a person. This doesn't happen all that often.
Nope. And it also doesn't happen that two individuals get such awesome and pronounceable names. So let's dig into these two individuals with relatively short articles and see what we can divine from the impression they've left upon this planet.
Aiden Smagulov is a Kyrgyz and Kazakh judoka. He won the Kazakhstan Championship in 1996 and went on to win a bronze medal in the 2000 Summer Olympics in the men's extra lightweight category, together with Cuba's Manelo Pulat. He's the first Olympic medalist to represent Kyrgyzstan in the nation's history. Kyrgyzstan. There we go. I'm sorry, Kyrgyzstan. It's Kyrgyzstan.
So we do have some more information. Judoka, it's someone who does judo. And judo is a system of unarmed combat. Kazakha is a Turkish ethnic group, mainly inhabit the northern parts of Central Asia, chiefly Kazakhstan. And you also mentioned he's a Kyrgyz, which is officially of the Kyrgyz Republic, a mountainous landlocked country in Central Asia.
Now his opponent, George Lancelot Dusty Tapscott, was a South African cricketer who played in one test in 1913. His brother Lionel also played test cricket for South Africa, and his sister Billy was a tennis player, reached the quarterfinals of the French Championships and Wimbledon. What an athletic family, and what a great real middle name. His real middle name is Lancelot, and they said, whoa, don't let it go to your head. Your nickname is Dusty.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal name. If this was a tournament of names, he'd be high in the running. But my impression from what you've just laid out for us is that he tried out for a team and didn't make it, and his brother did the same, but his sister was pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, I love the middle name and the nickname. I think Aiden is just the all-around better competitor, and I think if these two were go toe-to-toe, which they are, Aiden wins.
The first Olympic medalist to represent Kyrgyzstan in the nation's history.
Not even close. It's not even close. I'm sorry, George Lancelot Dusty Tapscott. It's not close.
All right. Well, then, Aiden Smagalov, you were born and trained in Kazakhstan. You can move on to the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
yeah, just a quick knockout there.
Yeah, didn't even go one round.
Although he was a fighter, so what are you going to do? You got a fighter against someone who played cricket, but I don't think you're allowed to bring that bat into like a fight.
No, it's unarmed combat. That'd be cheating.
Yeah. Yep.
Round 7.
Round 7.
Round 7. Round 7.
We have RIT Capital Partners against Rajendra Prasad, a boxer from India.
Okay. Definitely two relatively unknown competitors prior to this season, but both have been making a lot of chatter around themselves. So let's see which one of them can live up to the hype.
RIT Capital Partners was formerly Rothschild Investment Trust, a large British investment trust dedicated to investments in quoted securities and quoted special situations.
All right, I'm going to stop you right now. This other guy, he's going to have to really stink to not get my vote to move on. But let's learn a little more about these super duper rich people.
Yeah, so in 1961, the company was founded on the initiative of Jacob Rothschild to serve the English branch of the family Rothschild for investments outside of their bank, N.M. Rothschild and Sons. Now, I know the name Rothschild only because I think there's like a crazy Q conspiracy that like, this guy runs the world, which is crazy talk. He's a rich man with a bank, okay? Now, it's a big bank, right? But I think most of the banks that we know are probably big banks. No?
While I vehemently disagree, I'm not going to elaborate. It goes well. It's suffice to say that guy, dude's got a lot of money. He's into a lot of things, and that theory has been around for a lot longer than Q. If you want to talk about history, though, in 1961, the company was founded. It says to serve the English branch of the family Rothschild. Their board presently includes a number of super rich individuals, including Felipe Costeletos, Mike Power is one of those people, and Amy Sterling. So they're doing quite well. Let's see how our other competitor is doing.
Rajendra Prasad was born January 17th, 1968, in Bilal, Chhattisgarh, India. He's a retired boxer. He competed in the light flyweight division during the late 80s and early 90s and was ranked as high as 7th.
Nice. Representing India in the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona, Spain, where he defeated the fighter from Poland 12-6 in first round.
That's great. Now, he made it to the second round where he unfortunately lost to the bronze medalist Raul Velasco of the Philippines.
That very year, he receives the Arjuna Award, which is presented each year by the government of India to recognize outstanding achievements in national sports in India.
He is currently president of the Chhattisgarh Paresh Amateur Boxing Federation and joint secretary of the Chhattisgarh Olympics Association. He's married to Melina Prasad, and they have 2 sons.
And, there's a picture of him here. That's a sharp-looking man. Look at that. He's got a nice blue suit, big collar. I like it. Just a sharp-looking guy with a swift right hook.
Yeah, sharp-looking guy. Won't cut you. Will bludgeon you to death.
Yeah, I imagine that these RIT Capital Partners could probably come up with something worse to do to you. It says that they only have 78 employees. Now, that's not very many employees for something so large.
No, that's interesting. But I don't know exactly how banks work at all. Yeah, money makes no sense to me.
I will never have any of it. But these people probably have too much of it. And, I think I'd like to send Rajendra Prasad over there to, teach him a thing or two, perhaps about the beautiful sport that is boxing. And that's why I'm going to choose him, after all, to move on as my selection to the next round. What say you, Robert?
I don't want him to threaten anybody or beat anybody up, but he does teach boxing, so he can just go over there and do like a day training. I want anybody to get hurt, right?
No. A good sweat, maybe a spar jab or something. But no, we don't want to injure anybody. I think we made that clear in previous rounds.
Yeah, but no, I agree. We can move him on.
All right. Hey, you are punching above your class, which was light flyweight, so I imagine that's most other classes. And moving on to the very next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Now that might be another rule. Don't be a Nazi. Don't kill a whole bunch of people. And just don't take all the money.
Yeah, if
You don't need
people don't
all-
have money, they can't spend money, which means you can't get more money. It's a fine line.
I say, would you by chance have any round 8?
Round 8.
We have another plant, Fatoa Velosa, against Otto Pletner, a Mexican rower.
Okay. We've got a rower versus a grower. Let's see which one will be able to plant their roots in the next round.
Fatoa Velosa is the annual herb in the Moraceae or mulberry family. Common names include mulberry weed, crabweed, or hairy crabweed in Japanese,
Ooh.
or kawakusa in Japanese. Sorry about that. Sometimes it is a perennial herb in the deep south of the United States, and the entire plant is covered in both glandular and recurved hairs, giving it a sticky feeling to the touch.
Okay, yes, resembles the leaves of a mulberry, giving rise to the common name of mulberry weed. The leaves are heart-shaped and up to 10 centimeters long, fairly large for a leaf. At the base of each leaf is a pair of stipules.
In the U.S., it is an invasive plant. It's actually native to Australia and parts of Southeast Asia, but it has been found in the U.S. as far north as Michigan and Massachusetts, and as far west as California.
Oh, this is interesting. The fruit is single-seeded and explosively shoots the seed up to several meters.
That's terrifying.
That's really cool. It's a plant, but it's loaded.
Now,
For love.
its competitor, Otto Pletner, was born September 26, 1940. He's a rower from Mexico, competed in the 1964 Summer Olympics and the 68 Summer Olympics. And that is the extent of our information about our friend Otto.
Yeah, I wish they had some results too. Should we proceed thinking that they got first place?
Yeah, I want to move Otto on. I don't think we need to talk any more about that weird plant. I think Otto is the winner.
Oh, I totally disagree. I think that this plant is pretty sweet. It's on the ground. It's literally shooting. I mean, it's a plant. It could explode. That was all I needed. It explosively shoots its seed up to several meters. It's a plant that its leaves are only 10 centimeters long.
Okay,
That's crazy.
tiebreaker it is, and we know how we handle tiebreakers here.
That's right.
Time for a tiebreaker.
For a tiebreaker, Rob and I are both going to go roll around in the foliage that we can find around our local vicinities. And the first one of us to get some sort of weird rash will have their choice moved on to the next round of the ultimate tournament of everything.
I know that was the plan initially, but it's raining here, so I'm going to have to pass. Could we pick a number between 1 and 1,000 instead?
Oh, I think that sounds fair. Okay. What's your number going to be, Rob?
Well, Otto here is 81, so I'm going to go with 81.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go with the number 10 for the length of its leaves in centimeters.
Okay, and our randomly selected number from the internet is 45. That was
Hey!
way closer than I thought, but I think
I'm 35 away.
I am 36 away. Oh, it doesn't get any closer.
Hassa, hassa, Fataula Vilosa, you are moving on, well grounded, into the next round of
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Can't beat that.
You cannot beat that.
Oh my. Have we made it there already?
Already.
Well, let's take this moment to remind any of our listeners that you can like and subscribe. You can check us out weekly, daily with our scouting reports. And through Anchor FM, you can send us in blasts and messages however you please. I promise we'll hear them, even if they're not suitable for the air. With that being said, let's move on to round 9.
It's about time for round 9.
Round 9.
I'm so excited.
I know, me too. By the way, we do appreciate all 3 of our listeners. So, thanks, guys. You 3 are the best.
Even 3 listeners have 6 ears, and if each of your ears tell a friend, that's already up to a number I can't calculate. Who will we be facing off against each other in this round of the Ultimate Tournament?
In round 9, we have Folkestone Roman Villa against Adri van Hoolingen. Now, Mike, we are going to play this game I know you love. We are going to figure out what Adri van Hoolingen actually does. I'm going to give you 4 options, and you're going to tell me which one you think he does before we talk about him.
Thank goodness, because without options, I would have no clue.
I will tell you that he's from the Netherlands if that is going to help, okay? So, Adri van Hoolingen, is he the founder of IKEA? Is he a retired road bicycle racer? Is he a C-suite executive at a former tech company? Or is he the frontman to the Netherlands death metal band? Hey, don't put that in the train.
You think you're real smart, don't you, Rob? Think you can pull one over on me?
Never.
Not this cat. No way. I know the truth. And what's the name that you said? Who are we talking about?
Adri van Hoolingen.
Adri van Hoolingen is, as we all know, all 4 of those things. Thank you. The answer is E, all of the above.
Not technically wrong, but also not technically correct. He is a retired road bicycle racer from the Netherlands who rode in the Tour de France.
And that was my backup guess.
Well, there we go. Let's start with him, why don't we? He was born October 27th, 1953 in the city of Hasselt in Gelderland. He was a professional rider from 1978 to 1987 and won the 18th stage at the 1982 Tour de France.
Okay, yeah, definitely won a stage. He also competed in the team time trial events in the 1976 Olympics. His brother Jan was also a professional cyclist, very successful. It seems like this guy he put the pedal to the metal and went as far as he could. He's no Lance Armstrong, but who would like to be? Let's find out if our other competitor is underneath that category.
Folkestone Roman Villa, also referred to as the East Bay site, is a villa built during the Roman occupation of Britain, located in East Ware Bay, near the port town of Folkestone in Kent.
Okay, situated near a cliff top overlooking the English Channel, with views of the French coast of Bologna on a clear day.
Bologna. Here we call that baloney.
That's baloney. You see, what's not baloney is that This is situated near the start of the North Downs Trackway, and the area has been inhabited for thousands of years, with archaeological finds in the area and at the Via site dating back to the Mesolithic and Neolithic ages.
Yeah, there's a lot of history here. The excavation of the site actually didn't happen until relatively recently. It was known that it was there by the inhabitants for many years. The land was notoriously difficult to farm because of old stones which damaged farming equipment. And in 1919, the first dig was planned, but it wasn't until 1924 that it was fully excavated.
Yeah, this is definitely a place where people have lived for a long time, and then people forgot the people lived there. And then more people thought, hey, it would be a great idea to live here. And they realized that, hey, other people have already had this idea before. And this repeated over and over until today it is represented by a Wikipedia article, which we are reading at present. I think that this is a significant historical site. Obviously, a lot of people have thought, hey, what a nice place to live. That being said, I think that this Adrian von Hauweigen, not the worst person to be.
You know what the Folkestone Roman Villa can't do? Ride a bike. It cannot ride a bike, but you know who can? Our friend Audrey. And I think I got to move him on because he can ride a bike. In Folkestone Roman Villa, you're a place people lived, and then other people lived, and then other people lived, and clearly forgot about, just like I did. So I'm going to move our bicycle friend into the next round.
The ultimate tournament of everything.
Okay. But I just, to play devil's advocate here, Folkestone Roman Via. It goes all the way back. A lot of people have liked it. I'm guessing that a bunch of those people probably could have ridden bikes, even though most of them lived there before bikes existed. However, I have faith in these individuals, and I have faith that they'll be successful into the next round, so I'm actually going to choose Folkestone Roman Via as my choice to move on to the next round of...
The ultimate tournament of everything.
And thus we are at an impasse.
Well, as we've established earlier, we're going to complete a tiebreaker by me and you each getting on a bicycle and riding to the center of the country, and whoever gets there first wins.
There are a lot more mountains between me and the center than you and the center.
Sounds like I win.
Let's figure it out as we dive into...
Time for a tiebreaker.
We will instead actually be picking a number between 1 and 10,000, and I'm going to go with the birth year of our bicycle friend, 1953.
All the way up to 10,000, you say. And 1950... Okay. I'm going to go with... You said 1953?
I did.
I'm going to go with 75, for this via was built originally around AD 75.
Our number randomly selected at this moment is 3,295.
Oh, and by a literal landslide, that means that Audrey van Houweningen, the retired road bicycle racer from the Netherlands, you've pedaled your way to the front of the pack and are moving on to the next round of...
The ultimate tournament of everything.
What a group of competitors we have had today. Thank you for joining us for the very first, but not the last ever, highlight reel.
Yeah, absolutely all-stars. And you are all-stars as well. To all of our listeners starring in our hearts, don't forget to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and tune in for part 2 of our Olympic-themed highlight reel.
The ultimate tournament of everything.